Okay. Welcome back, folks. I'm interviewing Mr. Ed Bennett. He's running for the Del Mar College Regents, which is citywide here. It's he'd be an at-large member. So the other day, this is a Foghorn. This is a Del Mar College newspaper that comes out about every 2 weeks, and this is the August 26th edition. And it's got several stories here about the proposed Del Mar bond cut in half. We'll talk about the bond later. But it's got a picture of two of the people, one of which is running at large. That's Carol Scott, and then we've got the other person here who's already on the board, Mr. Todd Walter, and he's signing the paperwork as a person running for the board. And what I would like to do is, since I think the Foghorn people and I know Del Mar people keep an eye on this, I'm going to request formally tomorrow, which will be a Monday, of the Foghorn editor to go ahead and run a personal interview with each one of the people who is running for these different Board of Regents slots. So that would be, we've got 6 for the at-large, and then we've got 4 people for the District 4 position. So two of the 6 at-large people will be placed on the board, the top 2 vote getters, and then whoever wins the top number of votes for the District 4. So I'd like to ask the Foghorn to please do this. I do know that the Caller Times has interviewed Ed this past week, I think.
That is correct.
They were interviewing all 9 people who are running for the Board of Regents, just to get a feel and see. I don't know if they're going to endorse anyone with that or not. So anyway, just wanted to let you know about that, and I'm going to let Ed speak to some of the financial problems or potential problems we've got at Del Mar College.
Thank you, Doctor. Now, we've been attending those meetings for over a year, and I've been looking at the tax rates, and it bothers me that Del Mar has the second highest tax rate of any community college in Texas. And it's not only the second highest, it's quite a bit higher than most of them. Del Mar's about a quarter, about 25 cents for every $100 valuation.
Right.
El Paso, big city, 11.1 cents, less than half. Amarillo, 16 cents. McLendon, I don't know where that's at.
McLendon, yeah, I think that's up around Dallas.
15 cents. These are comparable, they raise comparable amounts of money. Del Mar raises $39 million through the taxing, El Paso $34 million, others about $15 million. So they're fairly comparable, but the fact is the community college should be reflective of how large the city is.
Right.
Houston's going to raise a lot more. They've got a larger taxing base, they'll have a larger college. Why is Del Mar the second highest tax? Right? That's bothering me. And then I checked at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the statistics they have say that Del Mar, it costs Del Mar about 1/3 more to educate a student every year than the national average. Now that doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah.
And if you extrapolate that out, our $80 million budget is approximately 1/3 too much. That's a big number. That's an awfully big number. And I noticed the student count, and I get this off of Texas Higher Education Board. They've got a website. The student count in 2010 for Del Mar was 12,236. It's declined through 2013, the most recent data they have, to a number of 10,510. It's a steady drop.
Right.
So we're losing students. It's costing more because the budget just increased. We're the second highest taxing community college in Texas, and we're 1/3 higher than the U.S. average in cost.
Right.
These numbers don't make sense.
No.
And then,
it's very confusing.
Let me tell you what really confuses it. The board wants to build a 3rd campus, and they wanted to float a bond issue initially for $287 million, and a major part of that was going to build a third campus. Well, based on these figures, and the figures I get from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, not only do we not need a third campus, we probably should be closing down some buildings and better utilizing the ones we have.
Right. Well, and then, you know, what is happening now, in November 4th, there will be asking for a $157 million bond to improve and to build new buildings on both our east and west campuses. And then I think 1.8 million of that they wanted to hold in reserve for plans and architectural plans and so forth for that south side campus, they call it, at Cimarron and Broadfield. And I've heard people that are supporting that go out and make a very erroneous statement that we're busting at the seams with students and we need to have that south side campus.
And I actually heard an interview, or saw an interview on TV with Dr. Mark Escamilla, and the theme of the interview was bursting at the seams. If you were ever bursting at the seams, it would be in 2010. It certainly wouldn't be now. The student count's way down. So I don't know how you burst at the seams. I don't know how you cost justify an additional campus. I don't know why it cost a third more, according to the data on the internet, and I have a lot of respect for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It cost a third more to educate our Del Mar students than the national average. These numbers aren't making sense to me.
No.
And we have sat in those board meetings, and I have not heard one penetrating question about the numbers.
No.
And doctor, it's $300,000 every business day.
Right.
$300,000. And by the way, that's our money.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as government money.
Right.
That comes from us, the taxpayers.
Well, we get federal funds, state funds, and then our local taxing district for Del Mar. So taxpayers, you're paying for it, you know, all the way down the line. There's nothing, there are no freebies in there and so forth and so on. And then some of them say, oh, we've got these big grants over there for this, that, and the other. Well, that's taxpayers' money, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know of any private money necessarily that's going in unless maybe the foundation dribbles some scholarships out now and then.
And that may well be, but that's not going to put a dent in that $80 million.
No. And then, again, this year, you know, we were told that we had to cut our budgets back to the bone and we can't afford this, that, and the other. Now, they did provide the faculty with a certain amount of a raise and then the general employment, non-faculty employees over there. And I think the one with the non-academic employees was 5%, and then faculty members going to be 2.5%, but they reinstated what they call the experience step increases each year, which is, I think, $875 a year is what each faculty member will get added to their base salary for their 9-month base. And they don't, you know, the raise is not going to go with the summer salaries at all. It's just based on what my 9-month base salary is. But I'm getting real curious about all this other money that's being spent. And I'll get into maybe the next segment, the 3% raise that the president got, plus a $15,000 performance bonus. And I think his car allowance is something like $12,000
It is,
a year.
$1,000 a month.
And then he's got phone allowance and travel allowance, so it adds up pretty quick. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.